So LGR did a review on 1993 technology, more like an E3 kind of thing. Everyone's bringing out their best, showing what they got and showing their prices. And man, there wasn't a lot to be shown. There wasn't a lot to be had, but they pushed it. Man, I'm looking back in old Popular Mechanics magazines, and I'm seeing a lot of people who are pushing a lot of older things that just wouldn't make a magazine these days. What is a magazine these days? So what I want to get at here is we need to check our appreciation for our technology. I don't think we appreciate our technology anywhere near as much as we should, and we have no idea what our purchasing power was anything like back in the 80s, or what we could get in the 60s, or even what our life was like in the 50s. Now, as I'm starting to go back to the 50s, we're talking internal plumbing, and electricity wasn't a thing in rural places like me, about an hour away from Orangeville, Ontario. It took us a while to get stuff out here. About in the 30s or 40s, closets started becoming water closets. That's right. You could take a dump inside. There was a time when, dude, I knew a contractor that was painting the tech room that could remember a time when in the morning everyone got up together and everyone went to the bathroom together in the outhouse. I don't know. Anyway, so that was less than 100 years ago. Less than 100 years ago, we didn't have internal plumbing. Yeah, in 1925, we didn't have internal plumbing, and we didn't have electricity. This particular house still has piping in it for gas oil. I haven't exactly figured out how you make oil. I don't understand how you turn coal into oil. I mean, how do you... That's... All right. How do you liquefy it without causing an explosion? They figured it out. Anyways, about a block away was a place that would provide the electricity. Just to think how far we've come in such a generally small amount of time. And it's also interesting how far our society has come. It seems like between 1930 and 1990, things didn't change a whole lot. There, like within society, it was okay to get divorced, and it was okay not to be affiliated with the church. Maybe that was a big deal. Maybe that's more of a bigger deal than I'm recognizing. Okay, because you got to understand, a church is a support network. And for mental health and for financial health, like a lot of the times when you hear situations where farmers will go to a bankruptcy for another farmer and refuse to bid, so that the farmer that was there would be the person bidding, the farmer that had lost the house could buy his house back for pennies on the dollar, basically. Those situations would often be facilitated from a church or a network like a church. Now, when we lost this network, we lost our mental health. You'll notice that even today, women will not pick up for men that mental health bit. Like every now and then you get a woman thinking they can save somebody, but when for the most part, when I talk to women about growing, changing, evolving, I keep seeing men that are okay with teaching women things, but then I keep seeing women who refuse to teach men things. They say, this was your family's responsibility to show you how to do this. This was never my responsibility to show you how to do things. I think that's one thing that we don't talk about, what men have lost by losing their networks. And some of these men have grown new networks on the computer, on the internet. But maybe some of these networks don't help us get by every day. We've definitely lost something in that step where we removed people from church. That networking is gone. And even if you didn't believe in it, there are still people within the church who don't believe in the church that still use the church for networking. And even if you don't believe in God, you love the people around you. You talk to them, and even though some of them you might not like very much, if something happened to them, you would be right there for them. Lots of people don't like churches, they don't like Salvation Army, they don't like this, that, or the other thing. But they don't like to think about who comes to the aid when everything's burning down, when everything's going to hell. Who is there with blankets? Now here's the thing. Sometimes you get people with mental health issues. They don't have family that are there for blankets because they don't know how to argue. They don't know civil discourse. They might be broken in here. And the value of something to one person might be completely different to another person. For example, let's say that this is amethyst. There was a time when amethyst was worth more than gold, but that value is perceived. Sometimes you get some silly people that have perceived values for the dumbest things. And I legitimately know a family that broke up because, or two people in a close family that broke up because one was smoking weed up to the other and saying, I'll get you later, I'll get you later, I'll get you later. And then when the guy asked, how much do I owe you? The guy said $10,000. Okay, like we have to have realism in the picture too at some point, right? Right. We get so many people walking around with masks. Like I have to put a mask on in order to do this stuff and make the wall real fancy. That wouldn't be like this normally. But we got to put that mask on to come together and meet in the middle. It's interesting. And it's more important to have that mask than it is to be legitimately a good person, I find. And that's too bad. In the 80s, when recycling was a thing, or was that in the early 90s? I specifically remember when the government pushed for it. There was a big to-do that day. There was a day off, maybe even the better part of a week off. I remember going to the gymnasium and so much was going on, telling us how to recycle, what we could recycle. But one of the things I'm remembering now is that we were supposed to put everything in the same bin, except separate them. And we were supposed to tie the papers down. Now it's remarkable how much waste we have these days. One little bin wouldn't do anything. Now we need 2 full-size bins. And sometimes we need a lot more than that. And if I'm judging how much we have coming to us by that, I think we're doing pretty good these days, guys. Within our hands, we have the ability to do so much. And it's interesting how there are no perishable elastic bands. I can't believe, even to this day, how many elastic bands are involved with physical moving media. And those things, once they sit for 2 or 3 years, if nobody uses them, they have memory too. Now, if you don't use it for like 20 years, you need to put these things on again. And I have torn down so many old machines that I have had to put elastic bands around this, that, or the other thing just to make it work. I love it. I love all of it. I love all of it. But, yeah. We've come a long way. No elastic bands in these cell phones these days, which is wonderful. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to appreciate what we have and take care of each other. More particularly, take care of each other. Legitimately take care of each other. Definitely seems like in the 80s and the 90s we were more interested in things than people. But now I think that we need to be more interested in people than things. We need to be interested in human suffering and the reduction of it. Take care of each other, folks. Have a good one.